Hi children, good morning. Welcome back to our physics classes. In the exam, we have 3 potential calculations and we have already done 2 in our previous videos. Today we are going to do the third potential calculation. Electric potential due to a charged shell. What's that? Potential due to a charged shell. So a shell I am drawing here. You know, a shell is something that is hollow inside. This is conducting. So if you give charge, it will be uniformly distributed all over the surface. So it is like this. Let's imagine the charge on it is capital Q, and this is the center, and its radius I am marking as capital R. And we need to calculate the electric potential due to this in its vicinity. Say we have actually 3 points. 1 point outside, 1 point on the surface, and 1 point inside. Okay, so all points will be covered. So this is the outside point I am taking, which is say small r distance away. So I am marking that. You also may copy this into your notebook. And here the electric potential is, you know, we go for a calculation just as we have done for the point charge. So you may refresh the point charge calculation, and you also remember for all outside points the electric field produced by this charged shell is as good as that of a point charge. So the potential here will be, can you recollect the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into capital Q divided by small r. So that is the potential here. So if you extend that calculation to the surface points, so V on the surface, V will be equal to, instead of small r, you will have to write the capital R. So that will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by capital R. Now listen, now we are going to the inside points. Just imagine this point. If you take the inside point, you know one thing, that there is no electric field inside. If there is no electric field inside, say this, see the logic. There is no electric field inside. There is potential on the surface. If the surface potential and inside potential are the same, then only electric field can be 0. Because if the potential is different, there will be electric field. You know that. So the inside potential will be V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by capital R, the same as that on the surface. Now we try to draw a graph of the potential due to this shell. Okay, so this is the x-axis where distance is marked. This is the y-axis where potential is marked. You know, if you start from the center, as you move along, the potential is the same till you reach the surface. Thereafter, it decreases according to this equation. So how will be the graph? The point on the surface is important. So this distance is capital R. At the center, the potential will be according to this equation. Okay, I am writing it as V is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q by capital R. So this is the same till you reach the surface. Okay, and thereafter, if you double the distance, say for example, if you double the distance, the potential will be halved. Correct, no? So the graph goes like this. Here V proportional to 1 by R. Okay, and the same to this side also. If you are interested in both the sides, so this is the radius. Up to that the potential is the same. Thereafter it decreases according to this equation. And you know, you can write, or you can, this is the ideal time to draw the electric field graph also. I am drawing the electric field graph also here. This is the y-axis where I am marking electric field. On the x-axis I am marking the distance. on both the sides. Okay. Radius point, the surface point is important. And you remember at the center, electric field at the center of the shell is 0. So that is 0. You will be having this point here. And electric field is there only from the surface point. So this is E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by capital R square on the surface. Thereafter it decreases. And how it decreases? Electric field is proportional to 1 by R square. So it falls off quickly than this. So I am drawing it like this. I hope you understood the graph. Both the graphs are important. Draw that and study that. Now, having studied the potential due to a charged shell equations, let's take an example. Just imagine you have a shell here. Its radius is R. The charge on that is plus Q. So this is that. And you have one more shell here. Let's imagine its radius is 2R. The charge on that is also 2Q. Again, as it is conducting, charge is uniformly distributed on the surface. Okay, like that. Now let's take a question. You are connecting these two spheres or these two shells with a copper wire. Okay, these two are connected. Say the connection point here it is A and here I am calling it as B. Will there be any charge flow? This is the question. This is a very interesting question, a conceptual question. Let's study this carefully. If the charge flows from higher charge area to a lower charge area, charge must be flowing from A to B. Okay, will it be like that, or is there any other thing? Like you may think, no, charge may be flowing from a high density area to a low density area. So let's calculate the surface charge densities. Here it is Q divided by 4 pi R square, charge by area. Here it is 2Q divided by 4 pi into 2R the whole square. So that is 2 square R square. So this 2 and the square cancels out. So surface charge densities are definitely not equal. It is twice here. Okay. This value is twice that of this. That is surface charge density is more here. Means if surface charge density is the deciding factor, charge must flow from B to A. You see, is it like that? We will find out. There is a charge flow rule. Now we are discussing about the flow of charges. Now how charge flows? See, charge will flow only if there is an electric field on that. Remember this, charge flows only if there is an electric field. An electric field is there only if there is a potential difference. So what decides the flow of charge? Electric field and potential difference. So you can say charge flows only when there is a potential difference. So for understanding it better, you just imagine an alpha particle here. This point is a high potential point and these surrounding points are low potential points. So naturally the alpha particle will be repelled by this and moves out like this. Means charge flows from a high potential area to a low potential area. So that is the charge flow rule. Remember this. Charge flows from a, now of course we are talking about positive charge. If you are talking about a negative charge, the rule goes the other way. So positive charge moves from a high potential area to a low potential area till the potentials are equal. Now let's calculate the potential here. Potential at B is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by R. And the potential here is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2Q divided by 2R. Those 2's cancels out. It's clear that their potentials are equal. Means there will be no charge flow between points A and B if they are connected like that. Charge flow rule is charge flows from a higher potential to a lower potential till the potentials are equal. And you are familiar with other flow rules in physics. Heat energy flows from higher temperature to lower temperature till the temperatures are equal. And fluids, water like that, they flow from high pressure to low pressure till the pressures are equal, right? Now let's take another example. This is also a really interesting example. I have a shell. Okay, I have a shell. Its radius is r and I am giving charge to that. The charge on that is capital Q. And now I am keeping another shell. The second shell is kept at the center, concentric with the first one. Its radius is small r and the charge given to that is small q. That is also positively charged. Both the shells are conducting shells. This is smaller one and this is a bigger one. Smaller one has radius smaller, charge on that is small q. The bigger one has capital R radius and capital Q charge. Now let's imagine they are connected like this. Using a copper wire, imagine they are connected. Will there be charge flow? That is an interesting question. Now how will you find out will there be any charge flow? So you have to calculate the potential of this point V and the potential of this point. Okay. We will calculate the potential of these 2 points. The potential of this point, you see this. For doing this, you should correctly know the potential of shell. Outside points, surface points, inside points, all. Study that carefully and then only try this. Okay, you know, this point is on the surface of this smaller shell. So it will have a potential 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into Q divided by small r, as it is a point on the surface of this small shell, plus it is actually an inside point for the bigger shell. So the surface potential also will be there into Q divided by capital R. I hope you understood the equation. And this point, again the potential I am writing. Potential is, this point is, remember, this point is at capital R distance away from the small shell. So its potential will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into small q divided by capital R. I hope you understood. That is a surface point for the bigger shell. So its potential will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q divided by R. Now are they equal? No, they are definitely not equal. This added factor being the same, you see these two factors. Here the denominator is small, means this factor is large. That means there will be charge flow. If I mark it as A, this as B, there will be charge flow from A to B. Correct, no? Now for us to understand the situation better, let's calculate the potential difference between A and B. VAB is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 1 by small r minus 1 by capital R. Okay, this is the potential difference. And you study this equation. It's really interesting. We have a lot of questions. Now when charge flow starts, will the whole charge flow out or only part of it flow out? Now when charge is building on this bigger shell, will that be an obstacle for the flow? See the equation. We studied this. Charge flows till the potentials are equal. Potentials are equal means potential difference is 0. So charge flows till this factor is 0. This factor is 0 only if small q is 0. That means charge flows till small q is 0, means the whole charge flows out. Now the second question, this capital Q, will that be an obstacle? The answer is, you look at this equation. In this potential difference equation, capital Q is not coming, means charge flow continues whatever be capital Q. So this is the idea in this situation. You should remember this. When a shell, a charged shell, is internally connected to another charged shell, the charge of the inside shell, the whole charge on the inside shell flows out to this bigger shell, whatever be the charge on the bigger shell. So that's the idea. It's really interesting. This was first noticed by Robert J. Van de Graaff, and he constructed an instrument based on this idea. We will study about that instrument now. See, I have redrawn this. Some few things are erased and the important potential difference equation is repeated there. See, this is the idea. If you connect it like this, the whole charge flows out, means the potential of this bigger shell goes on increasing. There is a use for that. Just remember this. If you keep an alpha particle here, what happens is, because of the very large potential, this alpha particle will be pushed out. The particle comes out with very large energy. Such highly energetic particles are required in physics for experiments in nuclear physics. So what Robert J. Van de Graaff thought was, let's make a particle accelerator. What's that? Particle accelerator using this idea. So what he has done is, he cut open the bottom portion and he supplied charge to the inside shell using a rubber belt. See, this is a motor. Using a motor, he has rotated this, and the charge will be sprayed using a brush. Positive charge is sprayed here. So this is a charge spray brush. Okay. So positive charge is sprayed means electrons are picked up and it is rotated this way. So just imagine what happens. Positive charge is sprayed to this. So charge will be moving like this. Like this it goes on moving, and when it reaches here, the charge will flow out. For that he kept another brush here. Okay, a charge transferring brush. Charge transfer brush he kept there. Remember, there is no charge here. So whatever charge is sprayed to this brush will be taken inside and that will be transferred to the bigger shell, as this potential difference is there. People started using this instrument and they call it as Van de Graaff accelerator. What is that? Van de Graaff accelerator, because it was used for accelerating particles. Now the energy, how much energy this alpha particle will have, actually depends on how much potential is there on this. That is according to this equation. We said you can build any potential on that. The potential usually people built on those days were around 5 megavolt. Okay, so much large potential was created. Theoretically you can make any large potential, but after some time what happens is, you think of an air molecule here, any molecule. So we call it as air molecule. A molecule will have a nucleus, positively charged nucleus, and electrons revolving around it. What happens is, if you set up this kind of a facility in your classroom, what happens is, these days we have tabletop Van de Graaff accelerators are available. And what happens is, this positively charged high potential takes electrons or pulls electrons out from the air molecules, and the positively charged nucleus will be pushed out. So what happens is, we say air starts getting ionized. So that's ionization of air. So you can build large potentials till air starts ionizing. Or in research laboratories, what they do is they keep it in an evacuated chamber so that they can build even larger potentials. This was invented in the 1920s. Now what happened is, this instrument is actually a very cumbersome instrument, not that easy to handle. In another 10 years, a new instrument came called cyclotron. So that is being used these days. It's a highly sophisticated instrument. So this instrument is not used as an accelerator these days. These are actually used for fun purpose and entertainment purposes only these days. So we use this instrument nowadays for creating or generating very large potentials or very large electric field. So we call this instrument as Van de Graaff generator these days. What's that? Van de Graaff generator. Okay. Now I am adding few Van de Graaff generator videos along with this. You just see and enjoy that.
When we have a volunteer stand on our insulator, they put their hand on the Van de Graaff. It steals some of their electrons and makes them a very positive person. All of those positive charges build up in their hair and they start to repel.
Weird. I've never felt anything like it before, and you should come out to AMZ to try.
To demonstrate electric fields just by using some tissue paper. And I'll screw it up. In the old days, but nowadays with all the health and safety problems, you're not allowed to touch it. So you would stand there with all your hair brushed out and it would just stand up on end, but we're not allowed to do that anymore. So turn it off, do it again. You ready? Jump backwards and forwards. So first of all, it goes over there and picks up a charge, and then when it's got too much charge, it jumps back over to the wand and discharges it, and now it's not got enough charge and it's attracted over to the other side.
And from the examination point of view, this being an instrument, you need to study 5 things about an instrument for the exam. First is, what is this instrument for? The second is, what is the principle of this instrument? Third is, how it is constructed. Fourth is, what is the working of that instrument? And the fifth is there any drawback? And what is this instrument for? This is a Van de Graaff generator or a Van de Graaff accelerator, which is used for accelerating charged particles, or which is used for creating very large potential difference for fun and entertainment purposes. And the second is, what is the principle? This equation is the principle of Van de Graaff generator. So you may write it precisely. This is that if a charged shell is internally connected to another charged shell, the whole charge from the inside shell flows out, as there is this potential difference. Now the construction, you can draw a figure and say it is constructed as in the figure. And working charge is sprayed into this. The sprayed charge is taken inside the bigger shell by an endless conducting belt, which is transferred to the outside shell using a charge transfer brush. That's the working. And as far as the drawbacks, this instrument as such is fine. We are not using this because we have more refined instruments available. So with this, we are winding up our today's lesson. See you in another video. Thank you.